Hey guys, SK here, back with another Clash Royale video. Hope you guys are all doing well, and as of today, the Royal Tournament, Global Tournament is officially underway, and so I'm going to be covering it. I'm going to be showing you guys 5 of the best decks in the meta right now to help you stand a pretty good chance at doing well in this tournament. So, it is pretty late at night right now for me, but it is still the first day of the tournament, and you guys know I like to get these Global Tourney videos out as early as possible to help you out, so I decided to still try and record, so the energy and the vibes might be a little bit different, but I still wanted to make a video again, so I'll be doing it. Another disclaimer, these are going to be 5 different decks, and they're not going to be the best decks in the entire game. I'm not saying like they're guaranteed wins, or these are hands down, like, unable to be disputed, the best decks to use, guaranteed, but I am saying that these are 5 very good decks that are also backed up by statistics and data, courtesy of royalapi.com. I will be linking all 5 decks in the description below as well if you're interested, so these are all going to be very solid in the meta. Now, final little note here, I'll show you guys the decks briefly. We have Splashyard, we have Hog Rider, we have Royal Giant, we have Logbait, and we have Minor Poison. So, quick note, Phoenix and Monk are definitely destroying and dominating the meta right now in an unhealthy way. Unfortunately, since Supercell refuses, or Clash Royale rather, refuses to nerf them, they're just kind of stuck being really dominant and overshadowing the rest of the cards in the meta. But with that being said, I decided to try and show you guys some decks without them as well, just because I know some people like to try out classic decks, or some people might not have access to these new cards. With that in mind, though, it is the global tournament again, so you are going to have access to every single card. So whether you have them unlocked or not, you will be able to use every single champion and the Phoenix. It is level 11, so even playing field, so no worries on that front at all. You'll be able to use all of these decks that I'm sharing today. So yeah, I still decided to again include some non-champion, non-Phoenix decks, just to kind of keep that theme, I guess. I always like to include at least 1 or 2, especially again for people who might not like using champions or abusing new cards like the OP Phoenix and the Monk. But again, these cards are incredibly strong, and so they are going to be in most of the decks, and like you'll probably be facing them a lot as well. So what I'm going to be doing, I do this type of video almost every single global tournament now, and I have been for quite a while. I'll be sharing these 5 different decks. Again, links will be in the description below, and I'll be doing a brief little breakdown of each deck before I play it. So I'll be playing 2 matches with each deck, trying to get to 10 wins in the global tournament today. So if all goes well, I'll just get 10 straight wins and go 10-0. If I lose, I'll still play the same deck until I get 2 wins with it. But basically, I'll be playing minimum 10 games today, so kind of a longer video in store. And again, I'll be breaking down the deck a little bit before we get into the matches, talking about the strategy and like the cards that are used in it. So with all that being said, I hope you guys look forward to the video, and let's get right into the deck breakdown for deck number 1, which is Splashyard. So it's kind of funny, but this deck literally never dies. It's been meta for, I would say, over 2 years now. I don't keep track, but it's been there. Even if it hasn't been the best in the meta, it's always been viable and usable. Even when Mother Witch was everywhere, you were still able to play around it, and you still can play around it now by being really passive, and, you know, poisoning the Mother Witch will still do a pretty good job. So it has kind of evolved now to include the Skeleton King, pairs super well with the Tombstone. Tombstone, one of the best buildings in the game. Some people even argue that it might be tied for the best defensive building in the game right now, since Cannon was nerfed. It was definitely the best one before that, but obviously Skelly King synergizes really well with the Tombstone, and just champions in general are overpowered because of the 3-card cycle that they offer. And we do have the Phoenix subbed in for the traditional baby dragon in this slot, just because Phoenix is so overpowered and literally everyone is playing it in most decks, so it fits very well. I actually shared this deck in a previous video where I was talking about overpowered Monk and Phoenix decks, but I played Monk in place of Skelly King, but I actually think Skeleton King does better than Monk in this deck, because it does synergize better with the Graveyard, with the Tombstone, and just overall. And on top ladder, the results seem to back that up as well. So yeah, first deck going to be Splashyard. Very, very solid deck. You can pretty much beat anything as long as you play kind of passive and try and wait to see what they have. Based on my opponent's banner right now, he does have Minor Magic Archer Tornado, so it could be Minor Wall Breakers. If it is, this should be quite a good matchup. We do see Bats as well, so it actually could be that deck. We'll have to wait and see, though. Don't make snap judgments too soon. We do see an E-Wiz. I think I want to poison it. Bats plus Ewiz kind of throwing me. I'm not sure what it's going to be, but I'm just going to take the poison, you know, free tower damage, and the Tombstone Skeletons will hold the Ewiz in the poison long enough. I'm going to Skelly King. I'm actually not used to playing Skeleton King, if you couldn't tell, so I didn't get it down for the previous Skeletons in that Tombstone, but should still be alright. It'll get charged up a fair amount here. I do see the Mega Knight coming down, so, and Queen. Gonna go for a Phoenix to DPS this Mega Knight down, pop my Skelly King ability right now, and this should do a pretty good job at cleaning everything up. He's gonna have to go for the Queen ability, and he does, and then Phoenix Egg might actually respawn, which it also does, which is insane. So like, this card is crazy. Okay, for a second I thought it might not have, but thankfully it did. I think I do have to Barb Barrel on that Queen just to make sure it doesn't get a hit on my tower, and that is fine. My opponent spent quite a bit of elixir there, so I'm in a pretty good spot. So Mega Knight, Queen, I would still guess this is like some kind of minor Wall Breakers type deck, but we'll just have to wait to see, I guess. Lumberjack 2, just going to go for a Skelly King as early as possible, I guess, to try and charge it up off those Tombstone Skeletons, and I might actually Graveyard here. I know it's going to be quite aggressive, but I do have a very healthy Skeleton King coming down, so I think I do want to do it. I'm going to go for the Graveyard, going to pop the ability as well, and then poison out the Mother Witch, and this will also kind of poison anything he plays on the Graveyard. He does just go for a Zap. As you can see, though, I got a ton of damage, and Mega Knight is almost fully taken out, so that is amazing. I think all I have to do is just Barb Barrel, and I'm fine. Like, Barb Barrel should kill that Queen, pull the Mega Knight back, and yeah, we are doing fine. I'm actually just gonna Tombstone for the Loon. It's double elixir now, I can afford to commit a bit more. Ice Wiz ability for, or spawn effect, I guess, for the bats, and then just NATO the Balloon to King, just to get that early activation. Even, it's not that early, I guess, but activation is always going to be helpful. So this is going to be a really good matchup. Lumber Loon, it looks like. But obviously I have the Ice Wiz NATO, I have the perfect defense, so there's not really going to be any problem at all. I'm going to pop my ability early because I think Lumberjack would take that out, and then I can definitely Graveyard with this counter push. Queen will do a pretty good job at taking out my support troops, but he still doesn't really have any great Graveyard responses, as you can see. And Skeleton King is already fully charged up again, which is kind of funny. You never really see two Skeleton King abilities. Like, you always see two Queen abilities, but never really Skeleton King, I guess. I'm gonna Tombstone. Barb Barrel actually really clutch there. Pulled the Lumberjack backwards so that my tower is able to target the Balloon first. And as you can see, Phoenix is absolutely going to town on defense. I'm just gonna go for a naked Graveyard with a poison, I think. It should definitely do the job and get at least one hit. And then we should basically win. Yeah, we get some skeleton hits, so that's going to be a good game. So that's just kind of an example of Splashyard, you know, just play strong defense. You can see my towers were literally untouched, 0 damage, because he had no big spell, I think, and I activated King as well, so that was just kind of a picture-perfect match. Really good matchup for me, and just kind of shows how strong the deck is. Going to claim my Barb Barrel Mastery real quick. And let's get into the second match with Splashyard. So yeah, like I said, I feel like this deck can really beat anything if you play it well. Okay, he has a lot of spells on his profile. But yeah, this is like such a consistent deck, and it's really fun to play. It's like very solid. If you play well, you will always get rewarded. It's like one of those decks, and it's a fun playstyle. It's like a control playstyle, so it's not exactly like cycle or beatdown. It's different. So I also tried to vary the playstyles of my decks that I share, so if you have like a preference or a best playstyle. Okay, we do see a Lava Hound. I kind of want a Graveyard, but I don't think I will, because it's just going to go right into the Hound. He could go like Skeleton Dragons or whatever, and it'll support. I'm going to Phoenix instantly snipe that Flying Machine, and Phoenix will do a really good job in this matchup. I think it's going to be significantly better than the Baby Dragon. And I'm actually going to Graveyard right now. Inferno Dragon is pretty much dead, and I can pop my Skelly King ability right now. This should basically take tower. I guess he might go for a tower trade. He does go for very late arrows, but that is still going to be tower. Really unfortunate that the Eye Drag is alive on 1 HP right now, but as you can see, Lava Hound by itself is not really threatening at all. So I might actually be fine. And I'm going to go Ice Wiz on top of all these pups to get that enter the arena effect on everything. And I'm actually going to kite these air troops to the other lane with the Barb Barrel. A really nice play I like to make. And he seems to be kind of upset. So this is looking really good so far. It's not great in the sense that I can't really go in that well. Graveyard is not traditionally a 2-tower deck, of course, unless it's Giant Graveyard. So that is going to be a bit annoying. But if I can just perfectly defend, and I think I can, because Phoenix is so good. This is I don't know if this is a good or bad matchup, but I do know that Baby Dragon isn't great against Lava Hound, and Phoenix is going to be a huge help. Okay, so he has a Skeleton King of his own. I'm going to pop my ability, try and DPS his own one down, and try and maybe force him to pop his ability. Does go for a miner, all the way in the back, easily going to activate King off of that. As you can see, Phoenix absolutely cleaning up all of those lava pups. It's amazing. Barbarrel to clean up the rest of those, and then that is going to be a pretty much perfect defense. Honestly, I think we have this one in the bag. He only has arrows in the deck, so he can't actually kill my Phoenix on my side. So I'm going early Skeleton Kings to charge it up with these Tombstones, and then I'm going for Phoenixes, and I do have the 3-card cycle, so I can get back to a Phoenix relatively quickly. I can also get some nice poison value here. I only need to go like Ice Wiz, Barbarrel, and I'm already back to another Phoenix. I'm actually just going to do exactly that, and we have double Phoenix action right now, and then I'm already back to another poison as well, so there isn't really anything my opponent can do. I'm just going to poison for safe measures, but I don't even think I need it. But that is pretty much going to be another perfect game. And I'm actually pretty proud of how I played that matchup, because it's not really a free matchup. Generally Lava Miner isn't that great, I guess. It's probably my matchup for sure. Even if I didn't have Phoenix, it might be if like a good Graveyard player plays it well, but Inferno Dragon is very annoying. But you can see why Phoenix is so strong. It was so clutch in that matchup. And also just the value of defensive poisons, of course. And I'm not a Splashyard player, so again, I'm kind of proud, because I feel like I still had the game plan down and everything. But yeah, 2 solid matches showcases exactly how it's done with Splashyard. So that's probably going to be the safest deck to run in this tournament. So definitely give it a try. Next up, we have Hog Rider, and Hog Rider literally never dies. Like, Hog does not die. Every single meta, you see some sort of Hog deck. Usually these days it's Hog Earthquake, but as of late, it's actually been the Viper deck, Hog ExeNado with Rocket. I've played against this deck quite a lot, actually, on ladder recently, and I've seen it quite a bit, and the main reason for that is Executioner, because Executioner is a great counter to Phoenix, because once the egg takes the Phoenix out, it splashes the egg, and then on the way back, it splashes the egg too. I think that's how it works. I actually don't know, because I haven't played Executioner myself until right now. We'll find out. But I know that's what people are saying, and I know that's why everyone is playing it, of course. It's great, great, great against the Phoenix. This deck only has Exe as air defense, but also Goblins were buffed, which is another big help for this deck, because there are now 4. It's a very strong card. Hog is a lot of fun to play with, and Tornado gives you a lot of control opportunities. So this is known as the Viper deck. Viper, one of the best players in the world. He's a French player, pro player, and always finishes super high with this deck, no matter what meta it is. Like, literally, he always does. So it's insane. But yeah, I'm going to give it a try. I hope I don't crash and burn, because I think this is a pretty high-skill deck, to be honest. But it's definitely been helped out a lot with the recent buffs. So I'm going to give my opponent the good luck. I think Hog First Play isn't that bad with this deck. It's probably more risky than like 2.6, but it should still be fine. Goblins plus Fisherman, I think this might be Royal Giant. And if it is, I think it might be a decent matchup, honestly. I don't have a building. Okay, he does have a Monk, unfortunately. That is going to be annoying. I'm going to go early Goblins, and then I guess just get a Valk down on everything. Keep my Goblins alive. I'm actually going to go in. This might be super aggressive. It probably is, and I might regret it, but I kind of feel like it, because this Valk is counter-pushing, and I can go Exe to clean everything up. Now, if he goes like RG opposite lane, I'm actually kind of screwed here, so maybe that was a bit too aggressive, but yeah, as you can see, Executioner doing work. Let's find out the interaction here. So as you can see, on the way back, it hits the egg, and then it takes it out on the swing. So it's really good at countering Phoenixes, and he might actually go RG here, and I might be in a lot of trouble. We'll see. Executioner, okay, Fisherman, I really think he's going to RG right here. I hope I don't lose at like 3 wins, but we'll see. Okay, there's the RG. I am back to a Valk, which is the good thing. I'm going to go Ice Spirit, Goblins, and then Nado the RG back. And that's actually going to be pretty much a perfect defense. I don't think I'm taking any hits. Okay, we took 1 hit. But still, like you can see, this deck has really solid defense. He does have to respond to the Valk as well. Goblins come down. I think he just went Fisherman, so he shouldn't have it back in cycle. So I'm actually going to Hog. And, okay, never mind. I guess I was just totally wrong. But it's still fine because I get 1 hit. I think it's worth it. So, and I can just Ice Spirit on the Fisherman afterwards when it crosses. So this is another deck that's really popular, and I'm actually going to share it myself. the deck that my opponent is playing right here, or a very similar one anyways. Gonna Valk on top. Valk is doing great in this matchup, and it will continue to be amazing. Just splash on everything. Great card. And yeah, I also have Goblins, which are also really solid on defense, although they are kind of susceptible to getting logged off. So I'm going to NATO this back last second, and then get an Ice Spirit down, and then Valk as well, and I think this will not... I think it might still get one hit. Ideally it doesn't though. Okay, I think it got one hit, unfortunately. And even more unfortunate is that the Phoenix is still alive. But I'm just going to rocket the tower here, honestly. I can't go for a log on that yet. I will log now after the monk ability is gone. And he might go like RG at the bridge or something. He does. Gonna go Valk. Gonna have to NATO it back. And I think I can... Okay, the monk kind of threw it off. Gonna log. Hopefully doesn't get a hit. Okay, nice. Perfect log timing. So that is just gonna put me in the lead. He might support this Phoenix. He does go Hunter, I guess, predicting me to... Hog, I'm not sure. Just gonna Exe. He might lightning it, but I'm again fine with that because I'm in the lead right now. And it's not gonna kill either. So that's totally worth it for me. And I'm just gonna rocket tower again. This is risky, but I think this is how I have to play it because we're going same lane at this point. Wow, he went monk trying to... I don't know what that was. I guess he was trying to deflect it, but obviously you can't react that late. So I don't know. Gonna NATO this back. I don't want to log, even though I do want to log, but I can't. And now I should at least get one hog hit, unless he gets like some really nice timing. Or goes Goblins with that Fisherman. Okay, yeah, bad Fisherman timing. That's just going to be a rocket. Unless he predicts this, it's over. So yeah, good game. Really nice win. I'm actually kind of proud of that. I think I played it quite well. You do kind of have to rocket cycle in a lot of matchups with this deck, because Hog does have a lot of counters. Even though a lot of times Hog can get you a lot of value, it also does have many counters. So... yeah, and that is exactly the deck I'm going to be sharing, but I'm going to be sharing it with Fireball later on. Lightning is an interesting pick. But, yeah, Valk was so clutch that game. Exe was also pretty decent. I didn't get to use ExeNado that much, but it was mostly because I was scared of the Monk. Because Monk does hard counter Executioner, that's the one downside. But yeah, Goblins also put in work, Ice Spirit did. And yeah, you just kind of have to go for a Rocket Cycle, and then defend well. Like, that's how it works with that deck. So, let's go for the second match with Hog ExeNado. Found it against VTau Pro. Give him the good luck, and with this hand, I will Hog first play. Not really scared to. I kind of have a good response for whatever he does. Okay, yeah, I had a feeling he was going to NATO because he wasn't doing anything. So that is annoying, seeing a Tornado, of course. No matter what it is, I think it might not be a great matchup. Okay, does go Barbarrel Loon. I'm going to Rocket, and that should be just fine. Okay, does go for Freeze. Gonna have to Ice Spirit to take the Balloon out. I will take death damage, unfortunately. So this is looking like it's going to be Balloon Freeze, and this is going to be quite a bad matchup. Or, actually, I don't know if it is or not, because I have Rocket, which is a good counter. But I only have Executioner as like an air defense. Gonna Goblins at the bridge. He doesn't have Barbarrel because he just used it, so he's gonna have to waste something. Okay, Monk. So this is gonna be another new meta deck. Lumber Loon Freeze with the Monk. I was actually considering sharing this one, but I decided not to. But yeah, he does have the Phoenix in there too. He does go Monk ability. I do still have to Executioner. So I think one will get... Okay, never mind, doesn't get deflected. Nice. So this will do a great job at taking it out, and I can definitely counter push with this Executioner. Again, it's pretty nice. It just goes back. I'm actually going to take that Rocket, to be honest, instead of going in, because that is guaranteed damage, and he still has to respond to the Exe, so this is fine. Honestly, this is pretty good. He might Lumber Loon. I'm going to go Hog to pull the Lumberjack back, and kind of... Okay, never mind. That did not work out whatsoever. Wow. I'm going to have to activate King off this Balloon, though. So I'll let it get one hit, and then NATO it to my King Tower. Okay, gets a second hit. That is really bad. Because of that rage. Yikes, that is really bad. This is going to be a tough match because I'm now down a lot. If I didn't get the second hit, I would have felt a lot more comfortable because I could have afforded to take another hit. Now I can't afford to take any hits, and he could just like Monk at the bridge even to just get damage on my tower, so it's not looking great actually. He might go for like a Monk ability to deny my Rocket as well. I'm gonna go for a high Valk, keep the Monk from crossing the bridge, and he does pop the ability, so it is going to be kind of annoying. Gonna go for a Hog. This should just force out a Tornado, so I'm going to be fine with that. And then I'm already pretty much back to an Exe after this. So he goes for a Tornado. I'm back to my Executioner, and I can get a really nice Tornado lined up on all of this. He does freeze, but I will Valk to protect my Executioner. does activate a Rage, but again, look at that Executioner value. And it doesn't splash the tower, which is great. Gonna go for a Hog, even though he went Phoenix, I guess, kind of predicting. It'll force a Tornado out. He does pop the ability, so... And I'm already back to another Executioner, so the name of the game right now is pretty much just Executioner cycle. And I think I'm actually... Like, he can't go Hog right now. I'm actually gonna go Valk Hog at the bridge. He goes Balloon. I do have an Exe on the board, so I think I can actually afford to not rocket that, because he does have to respond to the Hog. So I will just Tornado this all the way into the middle, and that is actually going to be fine. Perfect, actually. Gonna log. He might pop the ability. Okay, he doesn't, so I do get the log chip. And this is... Okay, that... Okay, thankfully the Monk ability was really bad. How much does Rocket do? 446. Okay, gonna go in again, keep the pressure up, and force him to defend again, because I am slowly getting him into rocket range. If he takes a Hog hit right now, he loses. And he did. Okay, so that's gonna be a good game. Really, really nice. I was kind of on thin ice the whole time after that balloon connected twice, which is not normal, but I guess that's what happens when it's a raged balloon. Lesson learned. But I still won, so I'm really proud of that one. That's another meta deck, really popular. But yeah, that one really showcased the power of the Executioner, actually. Because I was thinking, like, I only have Executioner, I have no other air counters. But Executioner was all I needed, honestly. So yeah, really great deck. Definitely give it a try. Definitely more of a higher skill deck. You have to know your tornado placements. You have to know how to defend well without a building. It's tough, but it's definitely fun and a solid deck. Next up, we have Royal Giant. This is the deck that I beat, and Royal Giant is always a really solid deck. I actually got to Ultimate Champion last season on this account with RG, with this exact deck. I was playing with Archers before, Archers and Skeletons instead of Hunter and Goblins, but I switched to this version once I was in Royal Champion because it's solid, and I got like a 77% win rate, so I was pretty proud of that. But yeah, RG never dies either. It's a very solid, very, very solid win condition, and pretty much in every single meta, it's such a versatile win condition that all the broken cards always synergize well with it. Like, now you can see we have both Phoenix and Monk in the deck. Back in the day, we had, you know, broken Skeleton Dragons in the deck. We had Hunter, Fisherman. We had Giant Skeleton when it was overpowered. RG Giant Skeleton, Earthquake being everywhere. So it's just always been pretty much viable and using the best decks ever, or the best cards ever in each meta. So it's just very good. Fisherman pairs super well with RG. You don't really see it in many other decks, but it's what makes RG so strong. You can do so much on defense and on offense by disrupting their cards and the tile placements, or you have easy king activations and easy defensive sequences. Hunter synergizes super well with Fisherman and is just very solid on defense overall. Goblins, again, were buffed, so they're very good. Sometimes RG does play Electro Spirit, but we do see the Goblins in here just because they're very strong. And we have Phoenix and Monk. Don't really need to say too much about these cards. They're very broken. Monk lends the 3-card cycle to the deck. Phoenix is just very strong. So we have great air defense with Hunter. Phoenix, we have great ground defense with Monk, Fisherman, and Goblins. And Fireball Log, very well-rounded set of spells. So let's get into the next matches with Royal Giant. So found our game against a Chinese player. Let's give him the good luck. I'm going to leak a little bit because I think it's not too important to play a lot in single. I really wish I logged that in time, but again, it's kind of late. I'm kind of tired, so if I was playing like at my peak, I would have logged that Ice Spirit reactively, but obviously I did not. So I'm going to log. So we do see Ice Spirit log. This could be Hog, this could be Expo, and it is also possible Logbait, and Logbait is unfortunately one of the pretty hard matchups for Royal Giant. I'm gonna go Phoenix at the bridge. Thankfully, looks like he's not the best. I don't know what that princess was. And he does actually go for an early Inferno Tower, which is really annoying because I can't do anything about it. I'm just gonna RG the back, I guess. He might rocket this, and I don't know if that would be a good or bad play because it is single elixir. I don't think you can do that in single. But yeah, he's not back to barrel yet. He's 1 away, I think. And he's also like 3 away from his Inferno Tower, so he actually might be in a lot of trouble here. Gonna Monk the bridge. And then I'm actually going to try and log on offense here because he's definitely going to go for a gang. Okay, no, he has Skarmy for some reason. Going to log. He's still not back to his eye tower. Now he is, though. Oh, that is so clutch, though. Oh, my God. Look at that. I'm going to go Goblins to distract the Inferno Tower. Okay, that's huge. That is so huge because I really need this. Like, RG is really bad against Logbait if the Logbait player knows what they're doing. But I think we just won in single. Princess the Bridge, what was that? Gonna go Phoenix and then RG as soon as possible. And this should pretty much be tower down. I'm gonna log on offense once again because I don't really care. RG will get at least one more hit. Phoenix will be alive, and yeah, that's going to be tower down. I also have Fireball ready for the Goblin barrel. He's might be going for like a barrel push right now. I'm actually going to Monk, because I have Goblins next up in hand, so I can easily just Goblins on the barrel. And yeah, if you go reactionary Goblins in this placement, I think it'll fully counter a barrel as well. I think it would actually do that even before the Goblins buff, but I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm going to hover them. He might have given up though, honestly, and I don't blame him. I mean, he kind of got destroyed in single. I'm really happy though, because again, Logbait Inferno Tower, if they know what they're doing, they will always beat Royal Giant Fireball. I would say maybe not with the Monk and the Phoenix, but it's still, I don't know. I remember I went up against Logbait and I was playing RG on Path of Legends, and I was pretty frustrated because there was nothing I could do. Inferno Tower, you cannot break through pretty much. Thankfully, he wasted it early on, and I got a really nice sequence going. Also, that Monk deflected his log back at himself, so it kind of threw his timing off in that sequence, and it was just very clutch. But I will definitely take it. Very nice 3-crown win there. Looks like Hunter is playing as well. But yeah, 3-crown wins are nice because they are the tiebreakers in global tournaments. Okay, he did have Fireball, not Rocket, so that's why he didn't rocket the RG in the back, I guess. And that actually is a pretty good matchup for me, I would say then. Because normally they have Rocket, right? And that's what makes it so annoying, because they can just Rocket cycle you. But he had Fireball, so that's actually not that bad for me. But anyways, he still lost in single. Okay, TRB Anaban. This is like the Anaban from Walmart or something. I don't know what is up with that. But he goes for Logbait again. I guess the game just wants me to lose, because we are against Logbait for a second time here. Let's see what we can do, though. It's probably going to be classic Logbait based on what I saw. Goblin Gang comes down. Yep, pretty standard. Going to go Fisherman for the right side. I don't think I have to worry about it hooking anything because Logbait doesn't really run stuff like Giant Skeleton. Normally, if you play Fisherman, you don't want to be too, or I guess just like too complacent would be the word with your Fisherman. Okay, I can't actually Fireball that. That's annoying. I'm just going to Fireball it off, I guess. And I actually hit the Ice Spirit, which is kind of clutch. I actually could have... Oh my god, that log got deflected back. Wow, so my opponent doesn't really know what he's doing. This is definitely not Anaban, because Anaban would not be this bad, no offense to him. But yeah, he's just... I don't know. I feel a bit more confident that I can win this. Just because of some of these plays I've been seeing, but we'll see. I could have also gone Monk ability there to deflect the Princess back at itself. Just going to go early Fisherman here to pull the Princess. I actually think I messed up. Okay, no I didn't. Nice, it goes in the middle. Okay, sometimes when I do that, the Princess like stays on the other side. Okay, Tricky Barrel doesn't do anything. I have Goblins for that, so that's really not doing anything. And I'll just Monk the Valk. I'm playing this pretty passively. I'm pretty sure he has an Inferno Tower again, so just going RG early on isn't going to be that good. I could maybe RG with this Monk, though, honestly. And I think I will, because it should do pretty good. I'm going to go Phoenix 2 to try and take the Inferno out, and then Monk ability, stall as long as possible, while the Inferno Tower gets taken out. I'm going to log to predict the Goblin Gang. Okay, it didn't work out, but still does get my RG on tower, which is what really matters. And Phoenix on the left also kind of popped off, so we are doing pretty well in this match so far. He might Princess the bridge. I also don't exactly have a log in hand for the barrel, but I'm going to RG the bridge anyway, because he's not back to his eye tower right away. He's back now. That's alright. I'm just going to go for a Monk, I guess, and then Goblins for the barrel. There it is. Again, Tricky Barrel. Not the move, because pre-Goblins will do a great job. Gonna Monk ability, perfect timing. Okay, nice. I think I fully countered the Princess there. Yes, I did. Nice. So you have to be really tight with your timings, but if you do time them well, you can fully counter stuff like Princesses, Flying Machines, and stuff like that. I think I'm gonna RG the back. Kind of sucks to let that Phoenix die, but he does have an Inferno Tower, so can't exactly go into that. Gonna log all of this. And again, he's going with all these Tricky Barrels, even though I have Goblins. I don't know what he thinks he will accomplish with that, but it's fine, I guess. Gonna Phoenix, and then I'm gonna get back to a second RG in the left. Nice, he just wasted his Inferno Tower on the right. Or not really wasted, but used, definitely. Gonna get ready to Fireball the Goblin Gang. And that should be game, I think. That'll be a really big connection if it's not game. Yeah, 3 hits. So, yeah, we are beating quite a tough matchup right now. Again, I don't know if the matchup changes too much with Monk and Phoenix. It obviously does help RG quite a bit. But it's still, Logbait always beats Royal Giant, so yeah, he goes Rocket on my Monk, so I think he gave up. Yeah, nice. It's actually a pretty good feeling that we made Logbait give up, so that is going to be how you want to play against Logbait with RG. I have been playing RG like on and off a little bit, so I've kind of learned some strategies myself, so I think that dual lane push is pretty nice, and I'm pretty proud of how I played that again. I think that is not a great matchup when he has Rocket and Valk. Valk is great against RG, as you saw in the Hog Rider game. And Inferno Tower is obviously way better than any other building against it, so yeah, I'm actually really proud of that. So I'm glad I was able to win. Really, really nice. Double Logbait, I guess. They just wanted me to lose, but I didn't want to. So yeah, RG, very solid deck. Kind of higher skill ceiling, but not too hard to pick up with these two cards at least. The other versions might be harder to play. But yeah, moving on, we have Logbait, which I just went against twice. But this is classic Logbait, so no champions again. And I wanted to share this one because Goblin Gang was buffed and Knight was buffed. Goblin Gang was buffed in the recent balance update in start of October, and Knight was buffed when the Monk and Phoenix were released in that update, along with the Goblins buff, of course. Now, Logbait has been kind of nerfed as well. Goblins did get a nerf to their first hit, which affects the Gang and the Barrel in this deck, but Logbait still never dies. You literally saw I just went against it twice in a row. So Logbait is very strong. And we do have the Electro Spirit in here. I think Riley said that E-Spirit is the best version right now. I don't know, actually, because I really like Ice Spirit as well, but I'll try E-Spirit out just for a change, because I usually always play with Ice Spirit. I think it's really helpful against, like, graveyards. That's the main application I can think of. Ice Spirit is better against, like, Phoenix stuff, but it should be alright. So, yeah, Logbait, we'll see how it does in this meta. Again, a lot of Monk and Phoenix decks. I am lower on, so in these first 10 wins, you can really see just about any deck. So solid decks like Logbait always do well, where you can kind of outplay anything if you play well. Same for like Splashyard, like I said. Does go for a Dark Prince in the back. I didn't actually see that, so I logged in the left, but I'll just Knight. So Dark Prince could still really be a lot of things. I won't really make any guesses just yet. And Giant Skeleton. Okay, gonna go for a Barrel on the left, just pressure a little bit, because he just played a Giant Skelly. Does Witch. I'm really tempted to rocket that. I think I won't. I think I'm gonna be safe, because I do know I have to eye tower for this Giant Skeleton. I'm gonna play it safe. And yeah, okay, wow, he has a Flying Machine in here. Wow, this game really wants me to lose today. This is going to be kind of annoying. I'm gonna go for a Gang. Okay, I really misjudged that timing, but they should still defend my princess well enough, so it's still alright. Still gonna have to respond to this. Gonna Knight to protect my princess too. This is looking like it's quite a hard matchup, honestly, just because he does have the Flying Machine. We'll have to see what else he has, though. Can't make that judgment too early. Does go Dark Prince, and I guess I want to log and princess, and I'm back to my E-Spirit. I think that's how I want to play this, so yeah, a little bit tricky there. I'm going to be down Elixir now, so I really have to chill, but I did get some nice damage, and Princess will elicit a response. Giant Skeleton, of course, just going to eye tower, will kind of melt it. Does actually predict with the bat, so well played to him. Let's see if he clones right here. I think this might be a clone deck, but that is going to be a dead Giant Skeleton, so I guess no clones today. Okay, wait, is that on my tower? Oh no, that's going to be... Okay, that is unfortunate. I really thought the eye tower would take it out. That's going to be 1,000 damage. That's quite a sizable amount, but it's not that bad, I guess, because I still have his tower about the same, so it's not too bad. I wish I rocketed the Flying Machine, but since I went Barrel, I definitely can't afford to, so I'm just going to chill and play a Knight kind of low, and then Princess opposite, I guess. I still don't know his spells yet, but basically I'm just kind of trying to play it safe right here. This definitely does look like a clone deck, so E-Spirit will be very clutch if it is. Gonna go for the eye tower again. Knight, Princess. Second one is down now. And I'm gonna log the Dark Prince. Actually, I don't think I needed to, just because it would have gotten taken out, but just in case it would have gone on my Princess, I just wanted to be safe. Okay, does go for a Bandit, just gonna go Gang to pull it into my eye tower. Then I do have to Knight for the Flying Machine, and does have a Mega Knight as well, which is very strange, so I don't know if he has clone or not. We're gonna go for a high Inferno tower. Nice, we actually sniped the Witch, which is kind of clutch, because it's actually pretty useful to take that out. And then I think I do have to respond to this Mega Knight, but the Inferno tower did melt it quite significantly. And I don't actually have to respond to the Flying Machine. I do now that he played Bandit, but tower is on it, so I'm kind of controlling this relatively well. Other than that first giant skeleton connection, of course, but other than that, I'm doing okay right now. A giant skeleton is back, so I will eye tower, get back to a knight. Nice, E-Spirit does catch the bats. And he has rage. Okay, so rage is a lot better for me than clone. Clone would have been annoying, although of course I do have the E-Spirit in here to make things easier. Gonna go for a barrel right now. I have a nice counter push with the gang, and I don't think he has a log in here, or else he would have used it by now. So that's gonna be a fair amount of damage, actually. Yeah, quite a bit. Gonna go for a high eye tower, snipe the flying machine, and then E-Spirit for this Dark Prince. And now I don't have an Inferno tower for his next giant skeleton, because this is gonna kind of decay. But I should still be fine. I might rocket on defense here, something that's kind of underrated with Logbait. And yeah, I'm going to do it. Let's take that nice rocket. And that is going to pretty much be a clean defense again. I think I do have to log this just to be safe. Okay, I didn't, but I wanted to be safe again. No harm in being safe, and I'm pretty much getting him into rocket cycle range. He does get a pretty nice Mega Knight down, but I don't want to start rocket cycling just yet, just because I want to be pretty safe again. So I'm going to go for an E-Spirit here. This is looking kind of dicey. There's a lot of stuff on the board, but if I just protect my princesses, I should be fine, honestly. Like, this isn't that bad. Gonna Inferno Tower on top of the flying machine. Should get taken out, hopefully, at least. Yeah, nice. Okay, I'm gonna get 3 princesses down. We unlock the new card, 3 princesses, instead of 3 musketeers. And then, yeah, the princess, look at how much value I'm getting from my princess. 4th princess is ready to join. And that should be game, I think. Okay, one goblin does get a stab. That is going to be game. Nice, and look at the princess. Oh my god, look at the princesses on the right. They absolutely went crazy there, so that is a pretty nice Logbait match. Alright guys, I am back. I had to kind of clear my throat because it was getting kind of dry there. You could probably tell by my voice as well, but yeah, that was a very interesting match. I don't know, like, Flying Machine is obviously very annoying. Like, Flying Machine is traditionally what most Logbait players hate to see. Like, Riley really hates it. One of the best, actually the best Logbait player right now. He really despises Flying Machine because you just don't have a response. Like, Princess isn't great. Rocket obviously is just a -2, but obviously my opponent didn't play it that well, and I was able to do okay. I was also pretty proud of how I controlled the ending there with stacking all those princesses, but again, if you do protect your princesses with this deck, you just have success. I kind of forgot to break this deck down, actually. I kind of broke it down, I guess, but I mean, Logbait's been around for long enough. You guys probably know how it's played, but you pretty much want to bait the log with, you know, your Goblin Barrel, your Goblin Gang, your Princess, and then abuse the other cards that they didn't log, or that they're not able to log anymore. But yeah, we do see a Witch in the back, and he ignored my barrel, which makes me think he might be going in for a huge push, and of course he does. So Balloon comes down, gonna go for an Inferno Tower. It does target the Balloon first, which is great, and it does get taken out, which is huge. So that is going to be fine. Kind of unlucky I didn't have Rocket in cycle there, but thankfully I was still okay. I don't actually take any damage at all there, so that is going to be a pretty clean situation overall, I guess. Phoenix at the bridge. Okay, interesting. I'm gonna go for an E-Spirit, and then I think just log once the Skelly Barrel pops. I'll take like some Phoenix chip, but it's okay. I probably should have gone Gang actually in hindsight. Gonna go for a barrel now though, because that was pretty aggressive on his end, and I definitely got a positive trade out of it. So yeah, decent there. I do get my damage back. Yeah, I definitely should have gone Gang though. I kind of overestimated how much the Phoenix would have done. Gonna go for a Gang up high. Notice how I'm separating my troops, so if he had like a zap or arrows, he wouldn't really have been able to hit everything at the same time. He does go for a Monk, unfortunately, so Monk is going to be annoying. Ability does get forced out though. Gonna go for an E-Spirit, and should chain onto most of the skeletons, and then I do kind of have to get a nice defensive log and get back to a Princess. I wanted to barrel there, but I didn't because I knew I needed to defend. And that way I still have enough elixir to rocket if he goes Balloon opposite lane. So you do kind of want to be pretty strategic with Logbait. Even if some people think it's like no skill. There is strategy involved. Gonna go for a gang. I definitely have to take that egg out. I do not want it to respawn, so even if it respawned, it probably would have been fine, but just to be safe, he might go in right here, honestly, so I'm gonna go for a barrel just to kind of pressure and force him to respond. Yeah, he does go for a monk at the bridge, so gonna go knight, princess down low to target the miner. Okay, nice, so that it doesn't target the monk, and that way the monk won't deflect the princess back at itself. And then I'm gonna go for the Inferno tower, and I can pretty much just get a nice log value on all of this, and the egg will also get taken out, so that is pretty much perfect defense, and I'm holding on to my rocket. Notice how I'm not rocketing anything. I'm actually not even going to rocket that witch there, although I think I might rocket the witch plus mini P.E.K.K.A. now. That's too much value to pass up. Unless I missed, please. Okay, thank God. That would have been bad. But gonna gang, nice, we did not catch the miner because of the delay, but my placement was correct. We're gonna go for a barrel in the back because the goblins are coming in from the front, so he kind of has to choose. I actually don't want to rocket right now because I know he has the monk on the board and he can definitely get the ability down to troll me. So gonna go for a knight. And nice, princess does target the mini P.E.K.K.A. instead of the monk, which is actually pretty huge because the princess is going to stay alive. He does not have a response for that barrel. That is going to be good game. And yeah, nice Logbait game. So that one, pretty smooth overall, honestly. He didn't play a single balloon, but that was kind of why I was saving my rocket there at the end. Like, I didn't really play any rockets because I thought he was going to go balloon, so I kind of wanted to hold on to it for that. But I guess he just never played any. But yeah, Logbait, you know, I don't really have to explain too much how it works. If you do want more Logbait tips, definitely watch Riley on YouTube. He doesn't need a shout out from me, obviously. He's like way bigger than me, but if you didn't know about him, he's a really good Logbait player. So yeah, this deck never really does die though, honestly. And it's doing pretty well with the gang buff and the knight buff. But final deck, we have this deck, and this is possibly the best deck in the game right now. We have Minor Poison with the Monk and Phoenix, and then it's just a cycle deck. We have Log, Goblins, Ice Spirit, Bomb Tower. So kind of interesting, but in the last season on Path of Legends, this deck was literally everywhere on top ladder. Like, I think at least 5 out of the top 15 were playing this deck. I know Mugi played this deck. I think Lucas was playing Royal Giant a lot as well. Lucas did win the season though, so good for him. But yeah, Mugi played this deck. I think Mohamed Light played this deck, and a few others definitely did. So very, very solid deck, very broken deck. Minor, for if anyone comments something like Minor heals towers, or anyone thinks that way, like, that is just no offense, that is a really dumb way of thinking if you genuinely believe Minor is a really weak card, because it is super strong. Like, it synergizes so well with champions, because you can cycle multiple Minors super fast with a 3-card cycle. Poison is great in this meta because Monk can deflect spells, but not a poison. And then E-Golem has kind of been everywhere as well, so that's why we have the Bomb Tower in here. And also Bomb Tower is great against Royal Giant. So this deck hard counters the living heck out of the Royal Giant. Try not to get demonetized there. But it really does. Like, RG can't do anything against this deck. Just gonna star level my Bomb Tower, because why not, I guess. But yeah, this deck is just really overpowered, and I hope I can play it well, because if this deck is piloted well, it can literally beat any matchup again. Like I was talking about with Splashyard, with Logbait, with Royal Giant. Hog Rider, I think there's some matchups that are too hard for that deck, but most of the solid decks, you kind of see this trend. Okay, does go for a Ram Rider first play. Just gonna Bomb Tower Ice Spirit, and his Hog Rider goes into the Bomb Tower, so not the best Hog Rider placement, I guess. Monk will take care of it, though, and then I can go for a Minor with this Monk counter pushing. Okay, he does go for an Inferno Dragon. I guess I should have gone ability anyways. I kind of instinctively didn't, just because I saw the Inferno Dragon, but I'm just gonna go for a Phoenix for the Inferno Dragon. And then I can go for a Minor, and what I like to do with this is I let the Phoenix tank for the Minor, and then when the Phoenix dies, the Minor is the one tanking for the Phoenix Egg, if I time this right. Nice, okay, yeah, so, as you can see, okay, never mind, because Phoenix gets pulled back, which is kind of good and bad, I guess. Okay, he's back to a Ram Rider. Gonna log to reset the charge and make sure my Bomb Tower stays alive. That way it'll stay on the board to help against a Hog. And so this is looking like kind of a random deck, you know, double Riders, Hog Rider, Ram Rider. But this is what these types of decks thrive against, because you just have the best responses to anything if you play it well. And I guess he's kind of deterred from going for a hog right now because I have a bomb tower on the board. And it actually goes into my bomb tower again. Okay, he does go for the arrows. I'm going to let it go. It'll get like 2 hits, which is fine. I'm going to try and counter push instead. Okay, I actually keep forgetting he has Inferno Dragon. But I'm just going to ability this time, not forget to ability. And then Miner once the monk dies. So again, I want the Phoenix to be tanking for the Miner, at least for a while. And Phoenix kind of destroyed that Valk, so Phoenix has great DPS, and now the Miner changed to tank for the Phoenix, and he's actually in a bit of trouble. As you can see, he had to go for a Ram Rider. Kind of seemed like a panic Ram Rider, though, because it was like all over the place, I guess, like last second, right in front of his tower. But gonna Phoenix, he might have a big spell. So far, he only has arrows. Inferno Dragon, I will admit, is a very annoying card for this deck. But, I mean, Phoenix still does okay against it, so it's not that bad. It's just kind of annoying. Okay, E-Barbs, I guess predicting my Miner, but I'm just going to go Poison and Log on them. Like, that's free chip damage. Poison also hits the Inferno Dragon, so not too bad. And Monk will actually solo that Valk, I'm pretty sure. Yes, it does. Ground Rider comes down, going to Bomb Tower. And Bomb Tower, I just noticed he has 3 win cons. Going to Log to make sure the Wall Breaker doesn't connect. And then I'm going to try and punish quite a bit here. Minor Goblins at the bridge. Kind of time to start being more aggressive because it's getting later in the match. I need to start catching up in damage. As you can see, Miner's just getting a lot of damage, so Miner does do quite a lot of damage to towers over time. Going to go for a Phoenix and Poison. This is a little aggressive, I will say. But it should be okay, honestly. Yeah, he goes for a Hog. Phoenix should get that eye drag pretty low. Yeah, almost taken out, and then he might go for like a Ram Rider here. If he does, though, the Bomb Tower will still pull it, especially if I protect it with my Monk, and then I can go for an Ice Spirit, and okay, I'll take 1 Breaker connection, but it's still alright. I don't want a Miner right here. I want to see, I think he's going to predict me to Miner. Yeah, it does Inferno Dragon, and then just going to pop my Monk ability to stall a little bit. That was kind of unfortunate because it got pushed back. But Goblins will do great. Okay, I can't Goblins. I have to fort the Bomb Tower, so just going to Bomb Tower. And then Ice Spirit to make sure the Hog doesn't get any hits. Phoenix, I'm going to Goblins to make sure the Wall Breakers don't get any hits either. And then I'm going to Miner to counter push. So it's this is kind of how the deck goes, you know, just defend a lot. Spam Phoenixes as much as you can because they're a very overpowered card. So play a lot of Phoenixes, and then Monks are very useful on defense. It gets more tactical once you start using the Monk to deflect stuff. But obviously not really happening this game because my opponent doesn't really have too many cards that I can kind of deflect, like ranged attackers or whatever. Phoenix stays alive. Pretty bad for my opponent there because it's just hammering away at his E-Barbs. I'm going to go for a Miner because it's triple. I can definitely afford it. And this is going to be a huge push. Look at this counter push right now. He definitely wants to Mega Knight. I'm going to Poison, and then look at that. I have the Monk down. I'm already back to another Miner. And I have the Monk ability, and arrows get reflected too. So that's going to be a good game. So yeah, like, that was honestly quite an up and down match. It wasn't the cleanest, but I got the job done, and it shows just, you know, those cards can defend almost any push in the game if you know what you're doing. And yeah, we do have the Goblins here. You could also play Gang in place of Goblins. I think I'll actually play one with the Gang as well. Just because I've seen both versions going around, and Gang, again, is a very overpowered card still after that buff, 3rd Spear Goblin. It's been insane. Like, it was literally everywhere before the Monk was added. It was in, like, every deck. Monk kind of counters the Goblin Gang pretty well, with its ability, of course. But, yeah, Gang is not bad. So going to play one with either. You guys can choose which version you want to use. I'm not sure which version I'll link, I guess, but yeah, you can decide which version you'd rather play with. Goblins are cheaper, but Gang does have better air support as well, because obviously Bomb Tower doesn't hit air. Okay, I'm gonna go for a Miner on the pump, but fortunately I did just Poison, and he actually catches my Miner with his own, so that's well played. I'm gonna Log to get some value on the pump. This looks like it's gonna be 3 Musketeers after seeing the Gang, especially after seeing the Batter Ram, and Monk will be really huge in this matchup actually, because it does deflect a lot. He's going to go Horde right here, I think. Yeah, he does. And look at this. Monk will literally deflect rather, all the minions back to themselves. So that is another really overpowered interaction. with the monk. And I'm going to just go for a gang right now, because I think he's going to go for a gang of his own. Going to log his gang too. And then goblins are still alive, you know, just annoying him. And they actually get some chip on the tower, so that was pretty funny, I guess, and worked out pretty well. And now I do have Poison in cycle for his next pump. And I also have Monk for his 3M, so Monk will do insane in this matchup. I'm going to Poison. Monk will be huge against the Minion Horde, against the Musketeers, mainly. And then Phoenix will also be pretty decent. And Bomb Tower is also going to be really nice, honestly. So this should be a really good matchup. I want a Miner right now. But yeah, if in case you want like 3M in the back or something, it would have just been a waste. So I just decided to play it safe. And he does go 3M. I guess I'm just going to Monk on the right. And then he might try and go with like a Horde, something in the left. So I might just Poison on defense, honestly. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So I'm expecting it right about now. So going to pop my Monk ability. Okay, he goes Gang instead. Going to go for Phoenix and then Log. And that's going to be a pretty clean defense. As you saw, I wasn't even looking at the right side there because I was so caught up with the 3 Musketeers, or with the spam on the left, rather. But Monk did take out those 2 Musketeers on the right, so pretty nice stuff there. And just going to go for a Bomb Tower. Phoenix respawns. Going to go for a Miner because it's going to get tanked for, why not? He goes for a Horde Miner of his own. I'm just going to go Gang to kite his Horde a little bit and just buy my Phoenix some time, I guess. I'm just going to pressure right now. Monk at the bridge, Miner. Maybe a bit aggressive, but I feel like it, so. And then I'm going to pop the ability anti-kiting because it's not going to get kited anymore. He goes 3M. Kind of a weird spot. I'm just going to Poison 2 of them. And then Log. They will get taken out. Speaking of taken out, my Monk also gets taken out, but my Phoenix does not. So it does respawn. I'm going to go for a Bomb Tower right here. And as you can see, I'm already pretty much back to a Poison. So this is how this deck works. Like, it's just insane. It's so strong. I'm going to go for a Gang on this Musketeer because I want to keep my Bomb Tower alive for sure for that Battle Ram. Going to go for a Monk to push it in. Okay, that didn't work out, unfortunately. Going to have to go for an Ice Spirit, though. I think I'm still fine. Yeah, that was looking a bit dicey, but I'm alright. And then I have double Phoenixes right now after I get the second one down. So going to get double Phoenixes down and then Miner. And then look at the Monk on the right. So he is like defending my left side, right? But the Monk is going to town on the right side. Going to Log. I maybe should have saved Log for the Musketeers. Actually, no, because Phoenix Egg exploded. So yeah, that is going to seal the deal. This game is pretty much wraps. Does go for a Battle Ram. But like Bomb Tower is doing amazing. And there's just nothing my opponent can do at all. I'm going to go for a Monk. Pop the ability. Like, he cannot do anything at all. I'm going to go for a Miner Poison because I can literally afford to. And I can just get back to one because I have the 3-card cycle. Look at that. Look at how fast I got back to a second Miner. Like, this deck is just so disgusting. That's going to be a good game, though. So, really, really hard counter for me against my opponent there. But yeah, this deck is so strong again. It can beat pretty much anything. I haven't played it too much, but I played it a bit on Path of Legends, and it's also, again, it was everywhere at top ladder. Like, people were finishing top 10 with this deck. So this was the deck that Mugi used, like one of the best players in the entire world. I guess I will share this version in the description because I think Gang... I don't know, like, Goblins are better for cycling, but Gang is also really nice because, again, you only have Phoenix, and Bomb Tower doesn't hit air. So I feel like in the global tournament where people can really play any deck, you kind of do want that extra air support, so I think the Gang is going to be safer in the global tourney. But yeah, that's going to put me 10-0, guys, so really, really successful video today. Really happy, just flawless 10-0 using 5 different decks. Again, showcasing, in my opinion, 5 of the best decks to use in this meta, in my opinion, and they are backed up with some pretty good data as well. So again, links for all these decks will be in the description below if you would like to try any of them out. Definitely feel free to. Next up for me, I will be going to 15 wins with 3.0 Expo Cycle in the global tournament probably tomorrow, so you can look forward to that. And yeah, that's pretty much going to be the video, so I'm pretty happy with how this one went. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.